39 countries. With 2.2 million viewers, Aric's high energy, experience, and passion and love for making a difference shows in his speaking, coaching, and writing so vividly. He has traveled across the United States and Canada, speaking to over 200,000 students in organizations such as DECA, FLBA, FCCLA, HOSA, and statewide student council conferences, to name a few. He has committed to make a difference in the lives of youth, such as that they take on their dreams, achieve them, and pass it on to others. He provides not only inspiration, but the tools to take a dream and make it its reality. He's an award-winning speaker, 5-time publisher, author, and founder of www.aricspeakers.com. Make some noise for the dream achiever, Aric Jackson.
Let me see what you dance. Go. Come on. Do the move, I'm doing. Check it out, check it out. Hold up. Now get that good look on your face. Sit down. It's too much for you. Is it? Hey, Grandma. How you doing? I'm gonna give you my number. All right, y'all. My name is Aric Jackson, and if you haven't figured it out by now, I have an echo. Hello! Alright, y'all, my name is Aric Jackson. Listen, if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm crazy. I'm so crazy, my middle name is Cray Cray, so when y'all see me later and you say, hey Cray Cray, I'm gonna say, how you doing? I'm warning you now, time, I laugh like a bootleg Michael Jackson, okay? All right, so check it out. I don't know about you. I done got up here, jiggled my fat. I'm proud of my fat. I don't know about, I love that I'm thick, you know what I'm saying? You know, I also think I don't have love handles, I have love rails. All right, so check it out. How many of y'all are ready to turn up today? All right, Southwest District, come and see how good y'all are. Check it out. I'm not gonna do this speech off, man, I'm up here sweating bacon grease already. You see that? My bacon grease is glistening. Girl, don't look at me like that. Ooh, don't you love it when you look at somebody dead in their face and they do this? Yes, you, boo. Yeah. She's like, Alright, so check it out. We got a lot to cover in a short period of time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to do this by myself. Everybody, put your right hand up. Hey, bro, your other right hand. Alright, put your left hand up. And when you hear something that you really like, I want y'all to give me some snaps up. And take to the right. Hey, and take to the left. Hey, and bounce it down. Hey, check it, hands down, check it, hands down, y'all little turns up, check it, here we go, check it, put your right hand up again, come on, and put your left hand up again. I'm about to go Nicki Minaj, okay? I need you to simply do this and raise the roof, hey, raise the roof, hey, raise the roof, hey, raise the roof, and take to the right, hey, to the right, and take to the left, hey, to the left, and bring it down. Oh. Thank y'all. So, I'm still trying to catch my breath from dancing, y'all. So check it out. The next thing that I'm gonna have you do, I actually discovered it when I was in Virginia. I was on stage and I was going so hard that I was going hard. You know, you don't be like, man, I was going hard. You say, man, I was going hard. And I was going so hard on stage, just like stepping off, and there was like 1,000 people in the audience. And then all of a sudden, out the blue, 900 of them did this. I froze on stage. I said, are y'all getting ready to beat me up or something? This girl, she was like, no, that means that we like you. I was like, okay, let me know next time. So on the count of 3, you're gonna shoot your hands up and you're gonna break your wrist. And you're gonna say, yes, okay? So let's see what you got, Southwest District. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! All right, hands down, that was okay. That was your practice round. I didn't hear you, Dante. Bro, calm down. I don't know you like that. It's on your name tag. I'm sorry. I was about to say, you want some of this? Alright, so, now, do it again, but really turn lip. I give you permission to turn up. Wait, she got all excited. She was like, girl! I just bit my own like this. Girl, we're about to turn up! On the count of 3, hands up, break your wrist. Yes! 1, 2, 3, yeah! Check it out. Whenever you hear me say don't be, I need you to say scared. Let me see what you got. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Okay. Now we're going to have a little fun with the word. And let me say it. And he's going to throw up the peace sign. Be like, back up, bro, right? Back up. So, this time, whenever you hear me say don't be, I need y'all to say, scared. Let's see what you got. Don't be. Don't be. Ladies in the room, say hi. Wait, I wasn't expecting that. Some of y'all was like, I got a speech to do, stop. All right, so ladies, when y'all say skirt, I need y'all to do that thing that y'all do. I don't understand how y'all do it according to anatomy. You should not be able to do it. I don't know if Optimus Prime made a deal with Eve back in the day, but it's this thing y'all do with y'all neck. Look, the whole room just moved. So ladies, when y'all say skirt, I need y'all to say skirt. Ladies, here we go. Don't be skirt. And for the ladies in the room talking about, I don't do that. Let me tell you your boo is kissing up on somebody else. I bet you do it then. What do you mean? I don't understand. But I love it. I just got dizzy. Those in the room say, y'all kind of sound like some bootleg chihuahuas. Can we try this again? Fellas in the room say, woo! Thank you. Fellas, when y'all say skirt, I need y'all to like drop your voice a couple of decimal points like you about to get a phone number. Like when you about to get a phone number, you don't walk into somebody talking around. You don't do that. So fellas, when y'all say skirt, you got emotion with it. You say, skirt. Ooh. Don't y'all be taking that back to your school. Walking up to the honey like,
hey, Roy.
fellas!
Yeah.
Here we go. Don't be. All right, check it out. Ladies, you got this. Fellas, you got this. Everybody, don't be. Here we go, check it out. Now, why are we even having a conversation about don't be scared? Ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. As a human being, as a leader especially, you're going to come face to face with some of your greatest fears, and you're going to come face to face with some scary situations. How many of you, since you've been in Stuco, you came face to face with a scary situation? Raise your hand. Situation. Hands down. And for those of y'all who haven't, you was just scared to raise your hand. But here's the thing. So listen, as a leader, I think one of the biggest myths that like, when you get, especially Stuco, you know, believe it or not, you have like some influence beyond influence. But I think with that, what ends up happening, there's this mindset, all of a sudden you're like, are you talking about what I'm talking? Girl, you better go handle that. No, hurry up. She was scared. Let her through, it's an emergency. So here's the thing. I think one of the biggest myths that we deal with as a leader, when we get this title of a leader, when we all of a sudden become a leader and we're like in this position and everybody is looking at us, all of a sudden it is like we have this mindset of I have to be superhuman. I don't have to hurt, I don't have to have no emotions, everything is going to be okay and everything is going to be perfect every day. That is the biggest crock of chili I've ever heard. And you know, here's the thing. Listen, nowadays, people at your school, people in your life, people in your family, your church, your community, they're not looking for somebody who's perfect. They're looking for somebody who is real. How many of y'all know some fake and phony leaders? Hands down. So with that being said, let's talk about this spirit for a second, and then there's three things that we're going to dig into. Believe it or not, there is something in this big old brain of ours called the amygdala. We have two. So it's the amygdala. Where my biology? Amygdala. 2 is amygdala. They are this big, almond shaped. And do you realize that in a scary situation, in a fearful situation, the amygdala is triggered and it goes through all your experiences, all your memories, all your thoughts, and it makes a decision if you're going to stay and fight and deal with the situation, or if you're going to take flight and run away from it. Some of the best leaders will not allow this almond-shaped amygdala to hold them back. But there are some leaders, because of certain situations, certain fears, they will, instead of dealing with the situation, hitting it face on, instead of going to the next level, instead of doing something bigger than the council before you did, it's like all of a sudden you run. Oh, I can't do that. And as leaders, I think we have 3 major fears. One of those major fears is the fear of the past. Another one of those fears is a fear of rejection. And then another one of those fears is the fear of the unknown. By show of hands, how many of you have dealt with at least one of those fears in your leadership position? Thank you. Hands down. So here's the thing. I'm going to give you some tools today that when you walk up out of here, you're going to come face to face with a fearful situation, and you're going to stop, and your amygdala, whatever, is going to be like, run. You're going to say, no, baby. I'm staying right here. I got this. How many of you are actually interested in working beyond your fears? Raise your hand. Hoorah, here we go. So there's 3 things that we're going to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. And listen, I'm going to keep it real with you, okay? So first things first. When I say don't be, you say stir. Here we go. First thing is don't be to destroy your box. The second thing we're going to talk about is don't be to do you. And then the third thing we're going to talk about is don't be to get too mad. Some of y'all was like, bro, I was mad at you when you were trying to do the whip. All right, so let's go ahead and dig into this thing. First things first, don't be to destroy your box. Now, let's kind of shake something up. Usually, when people are talking about their box, they're talking about their comfort zone. The mere fact that you're here, the mere fact that you're sitting in the seat, the mere fact that you're a part of student council lets me know that you're a little bit outside of your comfort zone. So I'm not going to deal with that today. However, when I'm talking about your box, destroying the box, it actually equates to dealing with the fear of the past. Some of you in this room have had opportunities to go to the next level in your leadership, but because somebody said something or did something to you some years ago, it had you kind of shut down and not do or be out there as much as possible. Some of you have taken big risks and they failed. And after you took that big risk, you say, you know what? Never again will I put myself in that embarrassing position. Some of you have had somebody say something to you that they didn't even know what the case was, and you took it and made it your reality, and you made it your life, and then you started leading from what someone else said about you. Now, some of y'all may be looking at me talking about, bruh, look, you don't know me. You don't know where I come from. You don't know what I have to deal with when I get back to my school. You don't even know what I have to deal with when I get back home. So how the heck are you going to tell me to destroy my box and you don't even know me? I'm going to put it to you like this. You weren't there. You weren't there when I was a little boy and I used to cry myself to sleep almost every single night because of the simple fact I wanted my dad to be a part of my life, but he was too busy chasing women around Chicago and not being a real man. You weren't there. You weren't there when, because my dad was not being a man, my mom ended up having to work not 1, but 2 jobs to take care of me and my baby girl sister to make sure that we had food in the refrigerator and had clothes on our back. You weren't there. You weren't there when my mom lost those 2 jobs. And we ended up on public assistance, and we used to get welfare and food stamps. And the beginning of the month was always a good time because we had food in the refrigerator, but at the end of the month it became tough. And because I was the man of the house, I would make sure that my sister and my mom ate. And I was the one who went to bed hungry. You weren't there. You weren't there. That Sunday afternoon, we're having a family dinner at my grandmother's house. And we're having macaroni and cheese. Yeah. Ham on the bone. My grandmama's homemade cornbread. And to top it all off, y'all, we had some red Kool-Aid. Yeah! Life was good. And we're sitting there, we're at the dinner table, we're eating, and it's me, my funny looking sister, my mom. Yeah, she was kind of jacked up. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it real. She's beautiful now, but back then she was struggling. All right. So my little sister, my mom, my grandmother, my grandfather, and my two aunts sitting across the table, and there's a space open right there. And I'm eating, then all of a sudden, I stop. And I look up and I look around the table and I say, where's my dad? My grandmother stops. She slowly looks up. She gives me this look as if to say, we're not going to have that conversation now. She never says a word and puts her head back down and continues to eat.
Okay, yeah, I can add it up.
I do the same thing. I'm eating and all of a sudden the macaroni and cheese and the ham on the bone and the cornbread isn't even tasting right. And even the red Kool-Aid isn't washing it down because I have this burning question in the back of my head, and before I realize it, it gets so built up in me, I end up shouting out at the table, where's my dad? My grandmother stops. She looks up. She pushes away from the table. She walks over to me. She grabs my hand. She pulls me into the kitchen. She sits me down. Then she picks up the phone. And then all of a sudden I hear her say, I don't care where you are. Get here now. An hour later, I'm sitting downstairs in my grandfather's den, and I'm sitting in my dad's lap, and I'm crying so hard that I'm choking on my own tears. My face is red, my ears are burning, and my chest is getting tight. And I'm freaking out because I realized that I left my asthma pump at home. But with every breath that I can grab, I'm saying, but Dad, why don't you want me? Dad, why don't you love me? Dad, what did I do wrong? I promise I'll make it up. I'm sorry. My dad said to me in that moment, I'm sorry, son. I'm just too busy. I was 9 years old. And it was in that moment that my box got built. And this was my box. I'm not good enough. I'm not wanted. I'm not loved. And I went into the rest of my life being like that. Now, some of y'all may be looking at me like, bruh, both my parents at home were good. Listen, my box may not be your box. But here's the thing, your box, I don't know, maybe your box is a situation where somebody did something to you they had no business doing to you some years ago, and you haven't told anybody, including your best friend, because you're embarrassed to share it. I don't know, maybe your family is dealing with someone who's dealing with an addiction. I don't know, maybe someone in your family has a terminal illness. I don't know. But boxes happen. And let me just give you a quick definition of what a box is. A box is an imposed limitation. An imposed limitation. And here's the thing, it's either somebody else could have imposed that limitation on you, or you could have imposed that limitation on you. Some of us, look, I'm gonna keep it real. Some of us in this room right now, we walk around, we're smiling, and we're looking like everything is okay, but on the inside, heart is broken, and we're dealing with situations that we don't even know how to talk to anybody else about. So now is an opportunity to destroy your box. By show of hands, How many of you in this room, and look, let's just keep it real, Southwest District. How many of you in this room either at some point had or currently have a box? Raise your hand. Thank you for being courageous and bold, hands down. Now, for those of you in the room who did not raise your hand because you were afraid of what the person next to you was going to think or the judgment that they were going to pass on you, you said, oh, well, no, I'm not going to raise my hand because I don't want people to think I'm weak. Hello, that is your box. I'm going to give it to you like the girl off of Instagram. So here's the thing, I'm only bringing this up because, look, if you're looking to electrify your leadership, sometimes you gotta deal with that thing that you don't want to deal with, but I promise you, when you deal with it, you come out stronger. When you deal with it, you will experience a leader in you that you have never experienced before. When you deal with it, you'll be able to, hey, yeah, your council raised $10,000 last year. This year, because you let go of some stuff, you going for $25,000. And it's easy for you. Destroy your box. Do not let your past hold you back from your future. So here's the thing. There's 3 steps to destroying the box. Everybody put your hands up and say 3 steps.
3 steps.
Say it louder. 3 steps.
3 steps.
Everybody say step number 1.
Step number 1.
You have to acknowledge that there is a box. How many of you in this room know somebody who got issues? And wait, I'm not done. Y'all like, bruh? Hear me out. How many of you in this room know somebody who got issues? Everybody else know that they got issues, and the only person who doesn't know that they got issues is that person. How many of you know somebody like that? Hands down. Listen, don't let that be you. Deal with it. Here's where you get to have an opportunity to face your fear head on and say, look, I'm not scared. I'm destroying my box, and baby, the world better get ready for me. Which leads to everybody say, step number 2.
Step number 2.
You have to forgive the person that had you create that box. Some of y'all in this room are holding on to a grudge. You still upset with Sally Sue, who pushed you off the swings when you were 5 years old. You see her at school now, she turns the corner, she don't even know your name, and it's just you. I like you, Sally Sue! No! Sally Sue, like somebody call 911. Listen, here's the thing. If you want to be a true leader, let go of your grudges. And here's the thing. If you hold on to a grudge longer than 5 minutes, you have held on to that grudge way too long. What makes you think that you're going to be able to take your stucco to the next level, but you're still focused on hating and being upset with somebody who did something to you? Let it go. Move on, boo. Your life is waiting for you. And then finally, everybody say step number 3.
Step number 3.
Listen up. You have to forgive yourself. Some of us in this room have forgiven everybody else, but the one person we haven't forgiven is us. If you're in your head beating yourself up about a project that failed, listen, forgive yourself and go on to the next one. If you're thinking about it all the time, well, I didn't make president, look, be strong, support the council, and move on. Forgive yourself. How many of you have ever done something that was so devastating to somebody else you wish you could have taken it back? Raise your hands. Yeah. Hands down. So look, if you want to deal with the fear of the past and move on and experience a true electrifying leadership, destroy your box, which means be aware of it, forgive the person that had you created, and then finally forgive yourself. All right? Good. All right, so we're moving on to the next level. Y'all ready? Yeah. You ready? Yeah. So when I say don't be, you say scar. Here we go. Don't be to do you. Listen, everybody, take your hand. Put your hand up in front of you. Look at your hand. Admire your hand. Say to your hand, say, how you doing? Everybody say, get your hand up, girl. Everybody say, how you doing? And then kiss her real quick, say, mwah. Fellas in the room like, bro, I'm not kissing my hand. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a public service announcement. The world is full of fake and phony people. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have applied to become a member of the Fake and Phony Club, I'm asking that you please go back to your school, go to your locker, take out that application, rip it up, burn it as soon as you can. Because if you don't, side effects of being fake and phony are this. You end up having friends who don't care much about you. You have friends who you don't like. You end up going to a college that you really don't want to go to, but you go through it anyway, spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for a career that you really don't want to do. Then you end up going to this career, not loving it, and then you back down, and you can't call friends because you don't have real friends because you've been fake and phony, and you know everybody else around you is fake and phony, so you end up with the job at McDonald's flipping burgers. Here's the thing. Look at me. Hear me when I say this. Do you and do you unapologetically. I am so sick of people talking about, well, I'm sorry, that's just who I am. I'm sorry, that's just who I am. Look, if you're a jerk, you're a jerk. You're a jerk. You're a jerk. But if you're somebody who really believes in your beliefs, whether it's your value system or your core system, whatever that is, look, don't apologize for it. Do you. If people don't like it, peace. Look, we spend way too much time shaping and molding ourselves to impress somebody else who really ain't paying attention to us in the first place. Here's the thing. You want somebody to pay attention to you 100%? Here's the remedy. Go in your bathroom, look in your mirror, and pay 100%. Baby, I do it all the time. I'll stand in the mirror. Sometimes I feel like Beyonce. I'm feeling myself. Look, I'm looking in the mirror. I'm like, thank you, sex. What's up, boy? Can I get your number? Oh, it's already on my phone? I'm gonna call you tonight. Here's the thing. Stop making yourself to create a fan club around you to support you. The biggest fan that you should have should be the person that is staring back at you in your mirror. Here's the thing. Look. Let's keep it real. I come from the south side of Chicago, one of the hardest areas. Listen, gang violence and shootings are so crazy in Chicago right now, they don't even call it Chicago, they call it Chirac. I come from an area where all the dudes were like, had to be like this masculine and, you know, I'm this and I'm that. And you know what? I tried to do that and that just wasn't me. And out of 6 of me and my boys, 1 of them is dead. 2 of them in jail. 1 has 3 kids, no job, and then the other one has 6 kids by 6 different baby mamas. This one right here, look, I know I'm probably not the stubbiest dude walking around here. I understand that I look a certain way. I understand that I'm bald. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, baby, I do me, and I do me unapologetically. If you don't like it, peace. By the way, Michael, I can't wait to see your runway walk. No, I'm not a girl. No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Look, I'm bald. You're not. You rocking this red hair though. What is the southern accent you got going on? Thanks. I try my best. Do you and do you unapologetically? Everybody, look at your neighbor real quick. Look them in their pretty eyes, and if their eyes ain't pretty, pretend like they are. And look at your neighbor and say, shout out, hey you!
Hey you!
Say, do you!
Do you!
So everybody, look back up here. Look back up here. Look back up here. We're getting ready to do it again. And on the count of 3, you're going to go. You're going to look at that person. And if their eyes ain't pretty, pretend like they are. 1, 2, 3. Say, ooh, that was sharp. Say, hey you!
Hey you!
Say, do you? Boom, do you? Now, listen. Let me warn you now. When you do you and you do you unapologetically, people who do them and they do themselves unapologetically, they have a particular walk. They look a certain way. They just kind of have like this confidence. And like literally, they're not trying to be like overly confident. That's just who they are. And people are like, who do you think you are? And you're like, boo, try to figure it out. But here's the thing. When you are walking around like you are the CEO of your life, which you are. And let me say this is not even a part of my speech. Listen, if you are so busy trying to avoid your dream and working on somebody else's, people are going to give you what they think your dream should be. So focus on what it is that you want to do for you. Okay? I just had to say that. So here's the thing. When you do you and you do you unapologetically, you are going to have a fan club. And the name of this fan club is called The Haters. How many of y'all got haters? They hate you because they ain't you. Raise your hand. So look, hands down, here's the thing. I got so many haters. I like keeping track. I got so many haters. They ended up getting together, forming an association called the Haters Against Aric Jackson. They got a president, vice president. They got a secretary, treasurer, and they take cruises every year. Actually, no, they don't, because they ain't got no money. Here's the thing. When you have haters, some of us, we get so focused on what the haters are saying that we lose focus on who we are and what our goal is. Stop giving, look, you're talking about electric, stop giving your haters all the charge. Charge yourself up. Get wrapped up in who you are. And listen, people say stuff to me, and I mean, when they say it to me, I'm so good with who I am, they're like, well, I just don't think I like you. My response? Okay. Do you feel better? And I move on. But listen, here is the thing. When you notice you have a whole bunch of haters raising up, when you notice your haters go from 2 to 20 to 200 to 300, remember what haters stand for. And this is what haters stand for. If you break it down, Haters. Haters means people having attitude towards everyone reaching success. I'm going to say that again. When you break haters down, Haters, People having A, attitude, T, towards, E, everyone, R, reaching, S, success. When you got haters, your walk should just enhance. Your confidence level should enhance because they see you getting closer to success. So I love my haters. I'm like, look, have a party. Do your thing. But here's the thing. Don't waste your time on haters. Stop wasting your time. Next time you see a hater, don't even get upset. Don't get mad. Don't start screaming at them. This is what you're going to do. Everybody, next time you see a hater, this is what you do. Put your hand up like this. Flip it. Crunch it like you're about to rip your nose off your face. And the next time you see a hater, this is what you do. Say, Good. Do it again. Hand up. Flip. Crunch. Go. And y'all like, bruh, what you got me doing? Let me break it down for you. This is what it means. Do it with me. Here we go. This is what it means. You're not feeling me. I'm not feeling you. It's okay. And it gets like right to the end. So let's do it again. Here we go. You're not feeling me. I'm not feeling you. It's okay. Get out my face. Oh, you so ugly. Okay. I'm sorry. Are you upset that your eyesight is so jacked up you can't recognize gorgeous? I'm sorry, are you upset that even on your best day, you can never wear curves like this? You part of that stupid student council, you walking around thinking you all that, thinking you run the school, you think you all that, you think you all that? First of all, yes. And second of all, I'm sorry. Are you upset that I'm actually acquiring the skills to be a valuable citizen of these beautiful United States, and actually I'm going to go on and have the life that I want. I'm going to go to the college of my choice. I'm going to find the honey of my choice. I'm going to drive the car that I want to drive. I'm going to have the house that I want. I'm going to have the career that I want, and it's going to be so good that I'm going to end up taking over that company. And while you still hating on me, you're going to be looking for a job, and I'm going to give you a job, but when you look down at that paycheck, you'll see my signature. Do you really connects to the fear of rejection? We will form ourselves to be a certain way just so we won't be rejected. Listen, if somebody rejects you, let them reject you. And you move on. Just as long as you're good with who you are. Look, I don't care about the color of your skin. I don't care about how old you are. I don't care about how much your family have or do not have in the bank. I don't care about your religion. I don't care about your sexuality. I don't care. Do you, and do you unapologetically. All right? Now, last section, y'all, and then I'm done. Here we go. Oh, that was so sweet. So much. Here we go. Here we go. Last thing, and I need y'all to like turn up, like really turn up, like turn up, okay? So here we go. Don't be get too mad. Now let me clean this up right now. Do not walk into your next session walking in talking about, I'm not scared of man. Don't do that. They got a special room for people who do that. And in this special room, they have a special white jacket that has extra long arms, and it makes you hug yourself. How many of you have ever been mad before? Raise your hand. Dante is like, bruh, I'm mad at you now. So, as a leader, know this. You will always have a choice. You will always have a choice. Repeat after me. Say, I will always have a choice. How many of you know somebody who's constantly walking around talking about, well, I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice. Next time you see that person, walk up to them and say, Aric Jackson wanted me to tell you, shut up! So when it comes to being mad, ladies and gentlemen, listen, you have a choice. You can get average mad. You're average mad. You get upset. You're going off on your friends. You go off on your boyfriend, your girlfriend. You snapping off. You slamming your locker. You throwing books. You giving shade to the teacher. You walking home. You kicking rocks. You get home. You slam your door. And then you rip all the posters off your wall. And then because you don't feel no better, you go into the kitchen and you kick your puppy. Simba. I'm sorry, let me update that. Why would you do that to Olaf? Somebody about to call the Humane Society on me. I don't know, he ain't talking about kicking puppies. So that's average mad. That's average mad. And unfortunately, we tend to go right into that average mad. Here's the thing, you have a choice. Here's the other way that you can get mad. You can get too mad. Everybody put your hand up like this and do what I do and say what I say. Say, get too mad. Get too mad. Let me break that down. You can get to M-A-D. You can get to making a difference. You can do average mad, or you can get to making a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, by show of hands, how many of you in this room want to make a difference? Raise your hand. Hands down. Let me ask you this. How many of you in this room want to leave a legacy? Raise your hand. Hands down. And let me say something about a legacy. A legacy is not something you leave when you die. A legacy should be something you leave every single time you walk out of a room. So my question is, what legacy will you leave today? And there's a principle around getting to making a difference, and it's the principle I like to call 110. Everybody say 110! 110! Say it loud. Look, turn up. Say 110! 110! Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to let you know that giving 100% is now your official average. Some of y'all are like, bro, I was working on 98%. You gonna bump it up? Given the person that is sitting in your seat, given the dreams that the person who's sitting in your seat has, given the goals that you have, given the fact that you are here, consider that giving 100% is just average compared to what you can really do. Giving 100%, you have no idea what it can do for your life or someone else's life. A few years ago, I was invited to be this leadership coach for a student leadership conference. And I get there and I'm all excited. And I walk in and the lady who's doing the orientation, she walks to the front of the room and this is her. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. So today, we're gonna start off and I'm gonna teach you a chair. And the name of this chair is called Baby Shark, okay? So everybody put your hands up like this. Everybody put your hands up like this. I'm not doing this by myself. Hey, get your hands up back there. You think I don't see you? I see you, bruh. And here we go. Baby shark, baby shark, baby shark. Look, I'm glad y'all were excited about it. I was not. I'm looking at this chick like, so, hold on. You want me to learn a stupid cheer about a baby shark, a mama shark, a daddy shark, a grandma, grandpa shark. I went for a swim. I saw the shark. The shark attacked. I lost my arm. I lost my leg. I called 911. 911 said it was too late. Happy shark. I don't think so. But I said, you know what, Aric? You said that in everything you were going to do, you were going to give 110%. I learned that cheer, Baby Shark. It was the hottest thing walking around that campus that weekend. Everybody else was, Baby Shark. Not me and my group. This was us. Baby Shark. Mama. Shark. Daddy. We ended up getting requests. I'm sitting at the lunch table with my group. Here comes this girl out the blue. This is her. Shut up, Becky. Hi. I'm chewing on a double cheeseburger. I'm like, what's up? Are you the group that does Baby Shark? Yup. Can you and your group do Baby Shark? Yup. I said, group. My group said, and we shut down Baby Shark. It got so good that I ended up taking it home to, at that time, me and my sister, we had a place together, and unfortunately, my nephew, Amar, his dad wasn't in his life. So because I knew what that felt like, I stepped up and raised Amar as my own son. And so I took that home to Amar, and I taught him Baby Shark. We would do it from like 9 o'clock in the morning to like 12 o'clock at night. And the only reason why we stopped is because at 11:59, his mother was in the other room saying, shut up! One day we in the grocery store. I'm checking out my dinner. Am I gonna have DiGiorno Rising Crust Supreme Pizza? Or am I going to have DiGiorno cheese stuffed crust pepperoni? Y'all see my dilemma, right? And I'm just standing there, and then all of a sudden, here comes my nephew, Amar. Uncle Aric, let's see Baby Shark. I'm like, dude, we were standing in the frozen food section, no. And Amar knew my speech. And you want to know what Amar said to me? He had the nerve to say to me. He said, oh man, my Uncle Aric is scared. Get over here! We're standing in the aisle, we're kicking and screaming. This old lady is walking through the grocery store. We're in the aisle, and this is her. Oh my God. Next thing get on here. Security aisle 8. I look up, I see that me and Amar are in aisle 8. I say, Amar, we're about to go to jail for doing Baby Shark. But we didn't get called because we ran out. A few years after that, Amar and his mom, they moved to Madison, Wisconsin, and I moved to Atlanta, where I landed a really nice job at a law firm, and I'm sitting in my office, and my phone rings, and I pick it up. Good afternoon, law office of Sherman. This is Aric speaking. How can I help you? Hey, Aric, it's your mom. Oh, hey, Mom! Look, Aric, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm just going to say it straight up. This morning, on his way to school, as Amar was crossing the street, he was hit. He was hit so hard that the witnesses say that the impact threw his body up in the air, and he came down head first into the windshield, and then his body was thrown. Can you come? My Amar. The one who I raised like my son, Amar. The one who was gonna go on to play professional football, Amar. Not walk again, Amar. I get to the hospital, and when I get to the hospital, I walk in the room, and my nephew, Amar, he's laying in the bed, and he has tubes going in and out of him, and he has on this big chest brace, and his face is swollen, and he has something around his neck. But what trips me out is for some reason they have him cuffed to the bed. I look at my mom is being a soldier. My sister, one of the most beautiful women in the world, looks like all hope has been taken from her. I tell them, look, go home. Uncle Aric is here. I got this. And as my mom is walking out the door, she pulls me to the side and she says, look, I need you to understand. I know you're here, but Amar does not respond to pain very well, so don't let it freak you out. I get it, Mom. Uncle Aric is here. I sat next to his bed and I'm saying all kinds of stuff just to try to get him to respond. He's not responding. Then 2 o'clock in the morning comes, and with it comes the pain. Amar's lying there, then all of a sudden he starts. Amar, big man, Uncle Aric is here. Come on, you can fight through this pain. I got you. Come on, just respond, Amar. Come on, I got you, big man. Come on. And Amar starts thrashing around in the bed, and I'm standing there, and I'm freaking out because everything that I'm saying is not working, is not helping, and the only thing I could think to do in that moment was say, Amar, if you hear me, baby shark, baby shark. Amar stops and turns his head towards my voice and opens his eyes for the first time. All because of a stupid cheer that I decided to give 110% to. Why am I telling you this story? You gotta understand, you are in a position where you can, if you give 110%, you can literally save, you can even change somebody's life. Just by giving 110%. Look, when I learned that cheer, Baby Shark, they didn't tell me, look, this cheer is gonna pull your nephew out of a coma. I didn't know that. So in everything that you do, not some things, in everything you do, in the workshops today, in the exercises today, when you get back to school, give 110%. Somebody's life depends on it. Now, if you're a senior, please raise your hand. Hands down. So seniors, Omar is you. Omar is now a senior in high school. And he's walking around like nothing ever happened. And he's the captain of his football team. And ladies and gentlemen, that ties into the fear of the unknown. As a leader, you're going to face uncharted territory. Give it 110%. Go up in there and make it known who you are. So y'all, that's it. I'm not done. It's like, should I? But let me say this. And this is the part that tends to upset everybody. But I'm just gonna keep it real. Even before I say that, how many of you have learned something today that you can take back to your life for real? Rockstar, hands down. So now, let me say this. 97% of you in this room will have heard something that was amazing, that could literally change your family's life, your community's life, your church's life, and you can go back and make a huge difference, but you will walk out these doors, go home, and do nothing different. But then there's 3% of you in this room who's going to take just one thing that you learned today. I'm not even just talking about in my speech, just throughout the entire day. One thing, and you're going to go home, you're going to change your life, you're going to change your family's life, you're going to change your church's life, your community, you're going to change the state. Heck, that's playing small. You will change the world. Those are the 3%ers. So my question is, will you be a 97%er? Or will you be a 3%er? Don't raise your hand, don't tell me now, prove it. Let me have Mrs. Hahn giving me a call saying, remember when we were down in Southwest District, somebody in that district ended up doing this huge project that fed so many people. Let me see you on CNN being recognized for transforming something in the world that everybody had no clue about. Let me read about you in the paper about ending bullying at your school, and you were going to take down one school after the other until your last breath. One of you may be the president in the future. But that is only for 3%ers. Prove it. So with that being said, how many of you would like an opportunity to be a 3%er right now? Raise your hand. All right. Real simple, and then I'm done. Ladies and gentlemen, you have 3 options. Option number 1, to prove that you're going to be a 3%er today, follow me on Instagram or Twitter. Let me give you my name real quick. It is @ Okay, well, it's all right. Don't break nobody. Y'all like, oh! Listen, I do follow back. And I do talk about pictures. But I will tell you this, I have unfollowed people who tend to get on their Instagram and talk negative, and I'm not going to follow you for that. All right, so here we go. Instagram and Twitter is @I am Aric, A-R-I-C, Jackson. There's no apostrophe in it. Instagram wouldn't let me do it. So it's @I am Aric Jackson. If you pull up the picture, I think I'm doing something like this, like with my phone or something like that. All right. Opportunity number 2. How many of you know this message, if it went back to your school, it could literally transform your school? Raise your hand. Yeah? All right, hands down. So check it out. Those of you who know this can make a difference at your school, send your advisor to the back table with me. I'm gonna get their information because I'm getting ready to do a Don't Be Scared tour, New Mexico. So make sure that your advisor sees me. And then the last thing, ladies and gentlemen, if you really want to be a 3%er and have people really get who you are, I invite you to purchase this. I mean, wear it up in your school proudly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have these at the back table for 20 bucks. I take cash, and I have a little swiper thing, I guess, whatever. So it's not a square, it's actually PayPal, surprisingly. So I got to swipe. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Don't be scared to destroy your box. Don't be scared to do you, boo, do you, and above all, don't be scared to get too mad and become a 3%er. My name is Aric Jackson. Thank you.
Please come back and immediately sit down. Good to go.
I think I'm gonna get that shirt. He was like, I ain't going to that school. He looks like a person. I'm going.
Go faster, Pokey.
I can't. So how's Camino?
Wait, what the freak is this?